Vian's heart hammered against her ribs, a frantic drumbeat against the melody of the wedding march. She was supposed to be happy, thrilled for her sister Susie, but all she could see was him, Jungkook, her ex, standing at the altar, not as the groom, but as the best man. It had been 3 years since they'd last spoken, since their amicable yet hard breakup. 3 years of trying to move on, of pretending his absence didn't carve a space in her life that no one else could fill. And now, here he was, looking handsome in a crisp suit, a mischievous glint in his eyes that she knew all too well. Susie, radiant in white, held Jungkook's hand, her smile brighter than the sun. Vian had known her sister's fiancé, Jungkook, for a while but hadn't realized he had a brother. She'd known Jungkook was close with his brother, but she hadn't expected him to be this close. The ceremony was a blur of vows, laughter, and tears. Vian managed a smile for her sister, the facade of happiness cracking only slightly when Jungkook caught her eye, a flicker of recognition passing between them. It was a fleeting moment, but it was enough to send a tremor through her, echo of what once was. As the newlyweds shared there, Vian's mind wandered to memories of her own with Jungkook, their first date, the spontaneous road trips, the nights spent talking until dawn. She, herself back to the present, applauding as Susie and Jungkook walked down the aisle, but the weight of the past heavily on her heart. Later, during the reception, Vian found herself surrounded by laughter and chatter. She moved through the crowd, exchanging pleasantries with relatives and friends, but her mind remained on Jungkook. Every so often, she would catch a glimpse of him, his presence a magnetic pull she struggled to resist. As she sipped her drink, she heard a familiar voice behind her. Vian? She turned to see Jungkook, a glass in his hand, his smile hesitant. It's good to see you. You too, Jungkook. Her voice sounded strained, even to her own ears. The years had been kind to him, adding a depth to his already striking features. He looked older, more mature, and the sight of him sent a wave of yearning through her, reminding her of the love they had shared. Jungkook told me about your art, Jungkook said, gesturing towards the paintings that adorned the walls, pieces painted by Vian that she'd sent to her sister for the wedding. Yes, I've been painting. She managed a weak smile, focusing on the bouquet of lilies in her hand, their white petals mirroring the dress spilling across her sister's feet. It's beautiful, Vian. You've always had a gift. Thank you, she replied, her heart pounding. The compliment, sincere and warm, felt bittersweet coming from him. How have you been? Jungkook took a sip of his drink, his eyes thoughtful. I've been, well, busy with work, traveling a lot, but it's good to be home for this. I'm glad, she said softly. Their conversation felt like navigating a minefield, each word carefully chosen, each look laden with history. Before they could say more, the music started, signaling the first dance. Jungkook and Suzy took the floor, their love evident in every step. Mayan watched them, a mix of joy and envy in her heart. She felt Jungkook's gaze on her and turned to see him watching her intently. Would you like to dance? He asked, his voice gentle. For a moment, she hesitated. Dancing with him would mean opening old wounds, facing emotions she had tried to. But she nodded, letting him lead her to the dance floor. As they moved together, the familiar rhythm of their brought back a flood of memories. The way he held her, the way they fit together, it all felt right. I've missed you, Jungkook murmured, his breath warm against her ear. Vian's heart clenched. I've missed you too, she admitted, her voice barely audible. The song ended, but they remained in each other's arms, the world around them fading into the background. For a moment, it felt like nothing had changed, like they were still the couple who had once been so deeply in love. After the dance, Vian found herself on to a balcony overlooking the glittering garden. The music faded as she leaned against the railing, the night air cool against her. Jungkook found her there, a faint smile playing on his. You always loved to sneak away, he said, his voice a low murmur. He was closer now, the scent of his cologne making her head spin. It seems I haven't changed much, Vian said, her voice barely a whisper. No, you haven't. Jungkook stepped closer, his gaze meeting hers. I've been thinking about you, a lot. I know, she said, her voice. He was no longer her boyfriend, but his words still held the power to stir something deep within her. You've moved on, haven't you? He asked, his voice with a hint of sadness. I have, she said, though the lie bitter on her. Their eyes locked, their past playing out between them, the unspoken words hanging heavy in the air. I haven't, Jungkook confessed, his voice breaking the silence. I tried, Vian, but no one else compares to you. Tears welled up in her eyes. Jungkook, it's been 3 years. We both made choices. I know, he said, stepping closer. But being here, seeing you again, it's like nothing has changed. I still love you, Ryan. His words, her like a tidal wave, the emotions she had resurfacing with a Jungkook, I. Before she could finish, the sound of laughter drifted up from the garden, breaking the moment. They both turned to see Suzy and Jungkook, surrounded by friends and family, their happiness a stark contrast to the turmoil Ryan felt inside. Jungkook took a step back, his expression shifting. I should go, he said, his voice almost inaudible. Jungkook needs me. Yes, of course, Ryan said, her voice betraying her disappointment. She felt a pang of sadness, the ghost of their love between them like a forgotten melody. As Jungkook walked away, Ryan watched him go, a familiar ache in her. He might be her sister's brother-in-law now, but the feeling of loss, of what could have been, she knew that their paths would cross again, that the echoes of their past would forever intertwine with the present. The days following the wedding were a whirlwind of activity. Ryan helped Suzy and Jungkook settle into their new life, their joy, but also a constant reminder of what she had lost. Jungkook stayed in town, his presence a constant undercurrent in her thoughts. One afternoon, Ryan decided to visit the local art gallery where some of her pieces were displayed. It was a place of solace for her, a haven where she could lose herself in her work and forget about the complications of her heart. As she walked through the gallery, admiring the artwork, she heard a familiar voice behind her. Your paintings are incredible. She turned to see Jungkook standing there, his eyes fixed on a particularly vibrant piece she had painted shortly after their breakup. It was filled with swirling colors and raw emotions, a reflection of her inner turmoil at the time. Thank you, she said softly, her heart racing. Jungkook stepped closer, his gaze. I can feel your pain in this one. It's beautiful, but it's also heartbreaking. It was a difficult time, she admitted, her voice trembling. He nodded, his eyes never leaving hers. Ryan, I know it's been a long time, and I know we both have our own lives now. But seeing you again, it's brought back everything I felt for you. Jungkook, we can't just pick up where we left off, she said, trying to keep her voice steady. I'm not asking for that, he replied. I just want to talk, to spend time with you, Maybe we can find a way to be friends again. The sincerity in his voice tugged at her heart. All right, she said, her resolve weakening. We can try. They spent the afternoon wandering through the gallery, talking about art, life, and everything in between. It was easy, natural, like slipping into an old, familiar rhythm. The walls between them began to crumble, the remnants of their love resurfacing in unexpected ways. As the sun set, casting a warm glow over the gallery, Jungkook turned to her, his expression serious. Ryan, I don't know where this will lead, but I do know that I don't want to lose you again. Her heart ached with the weight of his words. I don't want to lose you either, Jungkook. Over the next few weeks, Ryan and Jungkook spent more time together. They revisited old haunts, shared meals, and rediscovered the connection that had once brought them so much joy. It wasn't always easy. There were moments of awkwardness, of unspoken tension, but slowly they began to heal the wounds of the past. One evening, they found themselves at a quaint little cafe, the air filled with the scent of freshly brewed coffee and baked goods. They sat by the window, watching the world go by, a comfortable silence between them. Do you remember the first time we came here? Jungkook asked, a smile playing on his. How could I forget? Ryan replied, laughing. You spilled coffee all over yourself. And you laughed so hard. You almost fell off your chair, he added, grinning. They shared a moment of laughter, the memory, a bright spot in the of their shared history. As the laughter faded, Jungkook's expression grew serious. Ryan, I need to ask you something. Her heart skipped a beat. What is it? Do you think is there a chance for us to start over? Ryan's breath caught in her throat. She had asked herself the same question countless times, but hearing it from him made it real. Jungkook, I don't know. So much has changed. I know, he said, taking her hand. But I also know that I still love you, and I think you love me too. Tears filled her eyes. I do, Jungkook. I never stopped. He squeezed her hand, his eyes filled with hope. Then maybe we can find a way to start fresh, to build something new together. Ryan nodded, a sense of clarity washing over her. I'd like that. The decision to start anew wasn't easy. There were moments of doubt, of fear, but there was also an undeniable pull between them, a love that had weathered the storms of time and distance. They took it slow, rebuilding their relationship step by step. They talked about their past, their hopes, and their fears. They faced their mistakes, their regrets, and slowly they began to forge a new path together. One evening, as they walked along the beach, the waves gently against the shore, Jungkook turned to Ryan. "I have something for you," he said, pulling a small box from his pocket. Her heart raced as she opened it, revealing a delicate necklace with a pendant shaped like a heart. "Jungkook, it's beautiful." "It's a reminder," he said, it around her neck, "of our love and of the new beginning we've chosen." Tears filled her eyes as she depended, feeling the weight of his love and commitment. "Thank you, Jungkook." He cupped her face in his hands, his eyes filled with love. "Thank you for giving us another chance." As the sun setting behind them, Vine felt a sense of peace she hadn't felt in years. Their journey had been filled with twists and turns, but they had found their way back to each other. Together, they faced the future, their hearts open and ready for whatever lay ahead, because they had learned that love, true love, could endure anything, and that was all that mattered.